Are we on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Microphone check. Lights. Cameras. Hit me. This is swanky. This is lifestyle. This is culture. Welcome to the social center of everything culture. Culture Daily.
Down, one of the classics that brought the Afrobeat vibe into reality. It's still Thursday morning. It's 9:18, sorry, the clock here. That's why I was pausing. It's 9:18 on the dot. It's the Big Conversation. You're still tuned into 3 Music TV live on Plus 89.9 as well if you're listening on radio. The name is Serial. I'm here with the full house of our editorial team. Coincidentally, because we're going to be having a conversation that warms my heart, but also a conversation that proves that young people are indeed awesome when they put their minds to it. Now, I'm here with Essilfua to my left, followed by Kojo Trip, followed by Aimee Cherry, followed by their madam.
The one and only.
Our joint madam, collectively madam.
Yes.
Let's have our madam. Madam,
I'm proud of myself.
Oh,
yeah, we are proud of you. I'm very proud of myself.
Your children are not idiots.
Oh, no.
You didn't raise any
I've
idiots.
done such a good job.
Great.
Yeah. Mama ain't waste no food. No.
Well, wait, you let me be down with them first. I see one or two.
With my full chest.
Some grilling they can't go on.
You will not see anything. I
entered the studio and you guys were happy and I was wondering why.
You want to deflate it?
So
deflate their balloons.
We'll invest in some few testing here and there. But Charlie, welcome guys. It's Culture Daily's Big Convo again. We're going to be chopping it up. We're going to be having some in-depth conversations poised towards thought leadership. Now, you all know we have Refresh coming up. Refresh is our thought leadership experience brought to you by 3 Media Networks, and it's going to be on the 18th of this month at the University of Ghana Business School Auditorium on University of Ghana campuses, Legon. And what is basically going to be focusing on is bringing us the experience with some seasoned speakers, professionals, experts who are going to be talking about that balance that we need when we are at the stage of tertiary education, balancing the need for academic pursuit and also while preparing for the real world that awaits us with a baseball bat outside the door once you finish your final paper. When you finish your final paper now, then the real world start cracking hands. Welcome. Yes. And all of you are smiling because you've been through it. But it's necessary. We're going to be chopping that up and opening it up for more conversation on Refresh. Now,
about to go.
So that's my APM for Refresh. So think again. That is what we're going with. We're challenging the status quo. They say think outside the box, but we are also saying that the money is in the box. So how can we get it before we start gallivanting and thinking outside it? We're going to be chopping it up on that angle. Now, moving on as well, we say waka now, whether you're planning the trip this summer or not, whether it's in Christmas, whether it's for your birthday, whatever, waka now is the vibe. Get ready for sizzling deals on flights, hotels, airport transfers, dreamy vacation escapes, and more. Get ready for giveaways on Friday as well. All you have to do is follow Waka Now on all socials, Waka Now Ghana, or go to wakanow.com.gh. And you can also approach them at any of their branches in Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi, and Tamale if you want that ultimate travel experience and a partner that will get you to and fro in the ultimate style, convenience, and of course, safety, not forgetting affordability. Waka Now is your choice. Now, moving on to my next LPM. Today I'm going to do moving on to my next LPM. Every time we eat food and sugars, aka fugars, are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases foul breath. Brush your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, which gives you the protection you need for your teeth, up to 10 times stronger teeth. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is fortified with pro-fluoride and micro-calcium ingredients, sealing tiny and invisible holes in your teeth, preventing cavities, keeping your teeth strong and mouth healthy. Pepsodent Cavity comes in 175-gram Big Family Pack, 120-gram Ejakwa Pack, and 65 and 12-gram sachets, so that no matter what your convenience is, you can grab Pepsodent for your dental care. Now, Pepsodent is also available in every shop. They've been doing this for 25 years, educating us on proper dental hygiene, and they're endorsed by the Ghana Dental Association. If you cannot access it in any shop for some reason, you need to give them a call at 0800 161 000, and that's Pepsodent. They say every smile matters. Now, we already spoke about this on Morning Bite, so I'm going to touch on it, but of course, 3 Music TV is powering Pent at 25. We are going to be bringing you the ultimate all-week celebration from the 19th to the 25th of this month. Immediately we are done using our brains on the 18th for refresh. We are going to go and use the rest of our body at Pent. We are going to go and jam. We're going to go and chop it up and celebrate 25 years of one of the most iconic hostels when it comes to tertiary education. Even if you know the Accra, you know Pent. That's how big Pent is. And we're going to be telling you why, courtesy 3 Music TV. Of course, we do promise a sensational, groundbreaking, mind-blowing performance on the artist night. And you know how 3 Music TV does. When we come through correct. Now, that my saliva has finished. We are back into the big studio here. Like I said, I introed my people already, and we're going to be having an intriguing conversation today. I'm going to do a lot of listening, but I'll be poking some key questions. Lenny, I hope, will not be protecting her children.
I'm going to be
too
listening
much.
to.
Oh, no, you said I need you to poke them.
No,
no. Please co-poke them with me. Yes, please. Now, the question is, from classroom to workplace, how do we bridge the gap? Now, every time you are in school, they tell you, parents tell all of us the same thing. One day they say, if you learn and do what?
You pass.
And pass, then you do what?
You get a great job.
You get a great job and you get what?
And you get money.
And then get money.
Yeah.
Please, I want one answer collectively. Is this true?
No.
For the ones in the back, I say, is this true?
No.
Mama and daddy, me where you do.
Can't be
Not
true.
Okay, they say if you learn and you pass exam, you get A safe. The moment you finish, the world will be chasing you. Job, Amy, come for job. Is it millions? It's so far, come for millions.
The world we are in now, sadly, very, very sadly, I don't mean to, make anyone feel bad. But those who used to get FFF and had street sense are employing those who had AAA. True or false?
It's not even now. I think it's been the case.
Yeah, there's a quote somewhere that says
don't
that
go to school.
Those who get the D's and the S become politicians and businessmen and employ those who had the A's and the B pluses. And that's, I think, what
I think it's been there for time. It's not like a now thing.
Yeah. I can tell you why, but that's not why we are here. We'll get it.
So now it's in your face. Like the term man go school.
Because he's saying.
Yes.
You see, we
it's not for everybody.
recently, and then in our group chat, they were like, those who got their 3rd class will come in cars, and those who got their first class.
Was that the case?
Some of them.
You see, majority of the people who did not fit into the academic structure or did not perform as exceptionally as expected, it was not because they were unintelligent. It was because they always wanted to exist outside of the system, which when you are in an institutionalized education system where you have to comply regardless of how you feel, you become a failure in that context. But in the real world, where how much you are disruptive is what defines your uniqueness and your value, they excel. So what happens is that people come out of school and they are waiting for instructions. Because since class 2, you've been told what to do. And they clap for you when you do it, yes, Amasa. But the first thing you need to know when you come out of any institution, especially a tertiary institution, is that nobody is waiting to give you the next lecture time. Nobody's going to wake you up. Nobody's going to give you that deadline.
You need to have your own schedules.
There's no TA anywhere to tell you whether the document you've done is correct or not. Write some nonsense CV and take it and see if they'll call you back. Receptionist should buy granite and spread it on your CV and flow. Yes, some receptionists or PAs have been taught to vet resumes, etc. And if your dear sir / madam and the first sentence has a typo, you know that if I bring this thing to Cyril is not going to employ this guy. So it's granite and plantain that you get.
It's like the whole system is automatically, like, you need to know that the system is not created for you to be innovative. It's a formality, really. It's like you have to have the paper in order for you to enter certain rooms. And so when you get in there and then your whole focus is on, I need to pass, I need to impress this lecturer. And I mean, we can all attest to, there are some people like that. It's not that like they're looking for what happens after the 4 years in tertiary or after senior high school. All they want to do is to impress their teachers, be the best students, be the teacher's pets, and they forget that they will leave a teacher in their school. And the whole system is like, okay, if after you focus on that and you get into the real world, some people even forget internships. The internship that is even supposed to help you see what the real world will be like. Some people feel like, okay, no, not intern. I'll even intern with my lecturer. Just to find, like, be closer to them. I'll know exactly what they like and all of that. And you get out and you've left the lecturer where they are, and moving forward becomes difficult for you because you still are waiting for instructions like serial.
But you know, with that as well, like I always say, I like to look at things, you know, in two ways. Maybe the person's, you know, career path is inched towards academia, right?
If it is, that's great.
And so they'll want to, you know, be the lecturer's pet, and then by extension be a TA, and then go and do their masters, and then, you know, be a TA there as well, and then go and do their PhD, and then become a professor, you know, in that line. So I think that sometimes as well, it's you know, it's two ways.
I'd also say that that would be the minority, because for a very long time that path has lacked the glitz and glamour.
I know a lot of people want to be teachers.
I've lived on Legon campus almost my entire cognitive life, and I didn't see a Rolls Royce till I left Legon. So I'm being serious. That's shade to everybody there, including my father. That's the fact.
Cyril,
right? I'm just saying, that's the hard fact. And you have people going out expecting this, right? Because we're now exposed, we're over informed, and all these things. So are kids still in 2024 going to want to graduate this year and become a lecturer or an academician or professor or doctor, like the way Lenny said? Or do they want to go with it? Do you understand? I mean, you got to call a spade a spade.
I think one of the problems is, you know, we don't focus on employable skills like in schools, and most of the curriculum is recycled, you know, because I mean, I went to school and then some people that I knew were leaving the school, I took their lecture, their slides, and it was the same thing that was being taught in, you know, after so many years. So the knowledge or the information over there is just recycled. It's like our education system is just exam centered, you know. It's like, you need to study the slides that you've been given, know what is in there so that you can write the exam and then you can pass without actually having any like analytical skills. Like, you know, people don't even attend what's it called, not even the lectures, like outside of the lectures, like seminars, workshops and stuff, because they don't see they don't see what the you know,
unless it's tied to their grades.
And even
that they show up for like 10-15 minutes and then just like
but I like what you said about exam centered, because even in the home, that's what parents reward. I mean, let's really be honest. That's what parents reward. Not many, and it's recent times that autonomy and uniqueness and all these things are being celebrated, and Jaden is different and Caden is different and Shenane is different. And all this
Shenane?
I don't know, bro.
Caden and Jaden.
Even that is still the minority, though.
Yeah, it's still a minority. You know, I think I don't want to think of it as a disservice, but what is the point? What is the point of going through? I mean, apart from reading and writing, arithmetic, the ability to read and understand, interpret or deduce, or kind of, you know, mine information from content. Apart from those basic skills that are universal regardless of what you specialized in, what really is the value of a tertiary education now? Like you're saying, I won't have a doubt if some of my slides from my graduating year are still in the system, which would be a tragedy.
A huge one.
No, but
because,
it
bro,
will be.
Yeah.
It will be.
It will be.
I think that they do really little updates. That's why we have a thing as Pasco. And
Yeah.
Pasco is very
Yeah.
normal and it's popular because it's been there. That's the same thing you're going to learn over and over. Maybe unless a lecturer comes to say that, oh, I think I've taught this thing over and over again, and so I'm going to switch up, when it comes to my slides or my lecture notes, or there's an update in this field or in that field, and I need to incorporate it in my, lectures and stuff like that. Then they can make the change. But until then, I mean, listen, to be honest, people even come to the school and then let's say they trail and they come back, you have to learn the same thing. Even if you trailed 3 years ago and you're taking the same course again, it's the same thing we learn.
Nothing new.
There's nothing different. So I'm sure that whatever it is still going to be there. That's why we have the concept of chew and pour, pass and forget.
Yeah.
So
I think maybe, is it possible that they've not made a clear, they've not promoted a clear distinction between financial success and intellectual success. The fallacy that we've been led on is that once you are intellectually successful, financial success
will fall in line.
is inevitable.
But it's not that way.
But it's not,
because I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, please,
but because in the
me.
real world, it has to do with application. You need to apply yourself. I think that I would speak for all of us if I say that. Being here, most of us didn't study journalism in school, with exception of Amy, of course. Issy didn't study. Issy didn't study journalism.
Loud.
I did not.
Degree in journalism.
I did not study journalism in school. I studied the same thing as Cyril, psychology and all of that. I didn't do anything related to the media, but because I have interest, so I feel like our education system should actually be interest driven, because without the passion and the interest for whatever the person is studying in the school, like, they would have no use for it. They would just go in there. I need to impress my parents. I need to impress my lecturers, and then we go. And then another reason why I think that it's really surprising is because lecturers take grants for research grants, and these research grants are supposed to help them or facilitate their new information, new information, so that they can include that in whatever it is that they're going to teach the students. But Ghana, corruption day everywhere. I don't know what they do with the grants, and then all this new information never gets transferred or never
okay, so I think I can help with
also,
that.
are the grants enough? Essie was a TA.
So with the grant, right, the lecturer can actually go in and get whatever information, right?
Yeah.
But before the update is done, that's where the problem is. The bureaucracy is so high. I don't know why it's like that in Ghana, but it's so high. Before they'll even call a meeting to sit down for what the person learns to be put on the table, to see if it's good enough to be added to whatever is being taught is one. Before later, when the information is put on the table, concerns to be raised about, okay, this is great, but it will affect this. They have to look at the socials of the whatever is being added to it, how it will affect, how it's good. By the time they will be done, about 4 or 5 years graduated. Before that, and it's usually not a lot. So before that will be added, because we studied. I did education. I love teaching, and so I knew at a very early age. That was the thing I am really happy my mom did for me. My mom said, you look like you don't like stress, and so bank job is not for you. So let's not look there. So we kept looking at things, and I was like, I love children, and so right after senior high school, because they were not going to let me go to NAFTI like I wanted to, my mom was like, just go teach and see if you like it. And I had a great time at the youngsters with the kids. And so I started to nurture that career from senior high school vacation. See how early that is. But some people don't know what they're even going to do till the end of tertiary. But with the whole curriculum, do you see how long it takes before anything is added? And so it's not the fault of whoever went to take the grant to get that information. You know what happens? Now they have the information. They use it as consultancy for private institutions because that's the only way they'll get their benefits.
But that's unfortunate because
it's unfortunate, and it's not their fault, really. It's not their fault. The same people who give you the grant to go, when you come back, before they'll take that into consideration to add to the curriculum. Long process.
Amy, what was your biggest shock coming into the real world?
So actually, you see, with my school, CIJ, now Unimark, you get the chance to learn a lot of things while you're in school, just that people don't take the advantage. Because we have a school, we have an what do I call it? We have a radio in the school. So if you're there and then you feel like you are here because you want to become a journalist, what are you supposed to do? To go to the radio, to work there, to try things out. But then people come to school and they feel like it's just about exams, it's just about like passing and all that. But then when I came here, I realized that everything I learned in school is more like the same. I got to know the terms used over here. That's what makes it easy for me. But then the only thing is that they don't really put you on, because you don't know that when I stand here and then I need to say something, you need to say it in a particular way so that other people could get what you're trying to say. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
So it exposes you to in the industry because you have the experience. Yeah. But there's no mentorship through the experience to know how to go about it.
Yeah, because a lot of the things that I learned outside of school was because of internships I did to let me know what actually is in the MCR.
So everything you've praised so far has had nothing to do with your theoretical training.
Nope.
No.
It's why I always say that. I don't know if you guys have heard me say this, but I've said it a few times that I don't trust the educational system much. I would rather put my children through homeschool, yes, right? I've said that because I think that through homeschool you'll be able to identify certain things. It's either that, or I think that technical education shouldn't start after junior high school. It should start in primary school and junior high school, so that you get to know what the interests of the children are, because most often than not, whatever a child is interested in as a child, not because the parent is asking the child to learn that or be a doctor or be a nurse or be a lawyer or be a teacher, but because the child has certain interests in maybe they're drumming all the time, they're singing all the time, they're dancing all the time, they're painting, right? If we should hone those talents really, really young, guess what? We will start making money
at a very
really young age, you know, and then the person may not even have to go to school to further their education or to learn English, because at the end of the day, you just need to have good communication skills, know how to put your tenses, your sentences right, and then add that to whatever you're doing as a profession. And most of the time you're good to go, right? Also know your basic maths and all of that, right? So I'm really big on that. It's either we start early with the children, because honestly, what are we using bisection of cockroach for right now? At this point
let me
in our
shake
life,
that table.
you know, what are we using part of an ant for?
Let's break it.
Who will see an ant here and say, this is the here, this is the that?
Lenny,
no, I'm going to kill it straight.
When it comes for your sugar jar.
Bruh.
No, I will kill you.
No,
I'll kill the ants. Like, do you understand? I'm not going to check all of those things.
A lot of people don't learn about learning. Okay, let me confuse us.
No.
A lot of people don't learn about learning. A lot of people just believe that this institution is perfect, is infallible, and I must comply with it and I must be a part of it. And people don't, and we don't like it innately. We like to do, right? And practicals. And we don't understand that every education system is targeted at its workforce and how compatibly it can create a workforce for industry. In 1926, Ford, which was the largest company in America at the time, was so influential that they required more workers and more productivity time. Hence, the 5-day work week was born. This, you have to go to work Monday to Friday. It wasn't God. It didn't just happen. Nobody, when's the last time you questioned that? Right? Nobody. There was exactly. So if you read the story on this, that a company needed so much labor, then they said, Charlie, you for make people work 5 days. Otherwise the company go
run down.
So okay, everybody has to work 5 days. After 10 days, people just forgot.
And they just became
so the whole branding around the weekend, the euphoria of happy hour Friday. Happy hour was because people are tired. And they could not wait for 5 o'clock for that bell to ring so that they could go and drink their beer and jam. We've now commercialized it and we are happy about happy hour. But happy hour is indicative of the fact that you've been unhappy 5 days. You see how psychology plays. So you're looking at one side of the coin, and because that's been the status quo, we've never challenged it. And it goes, that's why we did an episode on countries that have a 3-day work week and 4-day work week.
Yeah. Last week.
All those people that are Richard Ass.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
All right.
And Cyril, it's quite surprising because from what you're saying, people are trained in schools. They are prepared for the job market, but they are not prepared enough because they don't have the practicality of things, right?
Yeah.
Also,
in theory, we are prepared for the market,
but you don't know,
but not in practical.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not surprising because in Ghana we have children learning IT with the keyboard drawn on the table. Like you type.
The table is broken.
On the table.
We'll be here, so you come and pick us
On the
up.
table.
We are fine. Please, thank you.
We have people drawing like keyboards on the table to learn how. I mean, how would you get the impact of it if it's basically inanimate? You cannot do anything with it, right? And also, there's another school of thought that the teachers or the people who are actually educators are not equipped with that real life experience to be able to impart it into the students.
Of the same system.
Exactly.
So I mean,
Yeah, but with what he's saying that you see, in my school, the teachers who have been in the media, when they're teaching you, you see that there is difference from those who are just teachers. Because the one who has been in the media, I had this favorite teacher because everything he taught was like, he was there. He knows how it is.
It was
so
experiential.
Everything he was teaching was from his experience. But then if you haven't been there before, you don't know how it is, you don't have any skill or experience.
It's like you're reporting.
You're just it's like you're just giving a report of what you think it is.
When you experience a problem, you are forced to think to create a solution.
Yeah.
When you don't experience a problem and it's abstract and it's presented to you, you are forced to provide a response. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, I want the three of you to answer when I ask my question. First thing that comes to your mind, right?
Okay.
Just blurt it out into the mic. Okay? What do cows drink?
No.
So, I mean, you punch yourself.
I knew.
You see? Now, first of all, I do this to everybody. That's why you shut up.
I almost said milk.
Your whole life.
I knew that's what you was expecting.
Your whole life, your brain has been wired to respond. And you've been given value in how quickly you respond. So people go 24 hours and have not had a genuine critical thought to challenge or analyze anything. They've just been responding. And because the people you are responding to most of the times are also in that same mindset, both of you are just sharing nonsense.
Keep moving on.
And going. You understand? And it perpetuates, and then one becomes a teacher.
Sad. In this, I believe that
you get the problem.
in bridging the gap between the classroom and the real life, first thing is, if you're in the classroom, what you need to do is to challenge what you're being taught. Not in a very disrespectful way. No. If in my time I survived, I think the kids now will be okay. Trust me, because I did it.
No, they will.
Was beaten on God.
No, that was that time.
I was beaten for the word ain't. A-I-N apostrophe T. Because what's it called? Conjugation. Is it conjugation? When you do aren't and so we're doing is not, isn't, are not, aren't, and then isn't. It's also ain't.
Will not, won't.
Yes, and Cyril raised it. Got to Cyril and Cyril said ain't. Said wrong. And I said no, it's ain't. So wrong.
Had he traveled and come back at that time?
From a man on it,
So that makes a lot.
So you see, that's the issue.
For mental.
Like you think, I swear to God, like I'm word on my heart, you think this is like Cyril's making a joke for the show. But that was the disconnect. And I think for me, the reason why I even remember this, it was at that point there I realized that the teacher is not the smartest person in the room necessarily. And it's shaped my entire life.
Exactly. For me
so too. What Essilfua is saying it resonates with me. That's why I'm just giving that example. You need to find the gray line where you can self-educate.
Yes. That's what
going through the mill for mommy and daddy. I want you to be a doctor. I want AC to be an engineer.
And that's one thing that I'm really grateful for like my dad and my mom. Always, like when you come back, they want to see what you learned. And my dad was very intentional about me being 2-0 at school. And so I love English. I love dictation, right? And so you get back and he wants to know what words I learned. He's like, this one is easy. Then he'll add some to it. And he was like, learn these ones and then go back. So I remember the same thing happened to me. I remember Mr. Ansan, that man stressed my life. He came to say hula baloo. And I said, it's not hula baloo, it's hula baloo. Bruh. This man went back and forth. He looked at me and I was the tiniest in my class. And he's like, Essilfua, it's hula baloo. And I went to take my dictionary. And you know how they do the little...
the transcription.
And my dad used to do that with me very early. And I showed it to him. He was like, sit down. That's all he said. He didn't say I'm correct, I'm wrong. So I went home to ask my dad, and my dad told me that's it. So from that particular moment, I was like, no, Mr. Ansan. So I got the 2-0 tag, and I really didn't mind because I was getting that backing from my dad at home. But if you're going home to another parent who also doesn't really know, you know, it becomes another thing. And so there's so many factors that really destroy this gap. And
do you think this generation of parents, I'm talking about you guys.
Oh, you finish the question.
Do you think you know?
We know as
like I'm hearing parents are at home collecting stray.
It's not. I'm saying my parents knew. No, serious. Because I said my parents knew.
It's not all parents. At the end of the day, what my mom also did was dictation. I think I've said it to you before. Like every day, I've always been a words person, right? Every day you're going to do that. So I think that it's a conscious effort from the parents to be able to do a certain level of learning beyond what their wards learn in school. Now, when you get to a certain age as a child, you should also make that a conscious effort because your parents won't hold your hands through the whole time. Teachers won't hold your hands through the whole time. So the onus now lies on you to be able... Refresh. What do you say?
And refresh.
The onus now lies on you to, learn some things here and there. Now, learning can take like different forms. It's either from what you are listening to or what you are reading or what you are watching.
Or all of it.
Or all of it, yes. So, and it also depends on what field that you are interested in. Do you understand? So I think that, I don't believe even beyond that, some parents have done a good job, right? So let's give it to them. Some teachers have done a good job, right? But also, I think that with teachers as well, sometimes you just hear someone... What do you say?
This is an AJ.
That's yours. Shout to Mr. Lawal, Golden Age.
Hey, we are all giving
But yeah,
AJ's little pet boy.
I think what it is sometimes as well, right? We hear certain words being used or said, and we don't do the checks ourselves as to is this the right pronunciation? How do I inflect on this word or that? Like koto. Right? It's never koto. But everybody just hears people saying koto and don't bother whether they want to pronounce it as koto or kowtow.
Eddie Murphy. It's because we say Eddie Murphy.
Like we don't know whether the right pronunciation is koto or it's actually kowtow. Because when you see the spelling of KOWTOW, you just assume that you may not even know that the koto that you've been hearing said that's so what's many times. Spelled out. Exactly. Do you understand? Like we don't also now do our checks. So it's just a lot.
It's also because, like Essilfua said, once you are let me use, for lack of or want of a better word, self-aware or you're self-conscious, people tag you. Says, why does he speak like that or why does she speak like that? They see your body.
And some people are able to own it. You see, that's the thing. That's what Trip is saying. Some people like me and you, several people, they will own it. Some people can't. They don't want to be the center of attention because they want to learn. You get what I'm trying to say? Some people just want to learn and go home. They don't want to be called Tuno. They don't want to be tagged anything. Their parents paid for them to be there to learn. Don't come and stress me because, I want to learn and you want to get in my head. Another thing I think we can do to bridge the gap, aside being self-aware and trying to learn on our own, is trying to get that hands-on experience before it's time for you to finally get out of the system. That's the tertiary. Because like I was saying, what my mom did for me is something I really appreciate. starting to identify what I would want to do at the end of that journey. That is, I started with speaking, like public speaking a lot in school. She would tell me if there's a presentation I should do it, because I never know where it would take me to. So presentations would always be me in class. I probably might not even know what exactly is in there. I'll read it last minute and I'll still be able to present it because I had done it several times. And also with the teaching, I started at senior high school. If you want to be in business, I believe that there's nothing wrong with interning at a shop. Just knowing how to take stock. And people see these things as
demeaning.
Yes, but it's not. When you go there, the kind of money these people handle is money you expect to handle when you are out of. So if you want to handle that type of money, why don't you go to that space and intern there for that short time? It's not everyday vacation that you jump. And you don't have to wait for the school to say in your third year vacation, go and intern. You can intern every single vacation before you are done. And you would have 4 different interning experiences. And so by the time you are done, you will know that, okay, I've been in these spaces and I have this knowledge, this hands-on information. Now I know what to do when I'm done. So in the end, if you don't get a job, you can find something to do.
And at least you've had like some level of corporate experience.
Exactly.
And that's one thing I did. Even to the point where when I was still in school, I was still working just because I went to do the internship and I liked this. So when I got back into school, I just scheduled my timetable in a way that I can have, time days
to go and
to still go. So I think that also what does by extension is help you. At least you have a fair idea of what corporate is before you just get out of school and launch straight into corporate and then you are lost and you can't find your feet, and it takes you such a long time to finally find your feet, and it becomes some people are some way in the space.
Exactly, and, because it takes a lot, and no one teaches you tolerance in the office. Nobody's going to teach you that in the office.
Emotional
intelligence. Nobody's teaching you that. There's a whole. Some fields will learn it because maybe you'd have to deal with people like teachers, but it's not even in depth. Maybe psychology, you'd have to learn it because you would have to deal, but it's not in depth. There's certain things that you can only learn when you deal with people, because you get a boss that is so free, that's so happy, you can work with and you'll be fine. You get a boss that is so uptight, they still want their work somewhere, they'll slam with you and they'll so blast you. You never know what to expect.
Then, see, that's what when you were saying that, like, you don't have to wait for the 3-year vacation. People feel like that whole internship stuff, I'm doing it because
I have
school
to.
is asking me to do it. Most of my friends didn't do it.
Yes,
they just went
where you are going is like you're saying people are lazy.
Yes, sometimes it's
a lot of people
I don't think it has much to do with laziness than just like a matter of nurture. Because growing up, you've been told constantly, it's been hammered in your ear. When you go to school, Udi saying, like, your position is the most important thing when you go, not about what exactly it is that you have been able to learn or what you know. It's not about what you know, it's about how did you perform in your examination. When we go for parents-teacher meetings, or it's about, why is my child 40th in class, he doesn't pay attention. Like, we don't even have counselors in schools. We don't even have like where a child can go and then assessed, say, maybe this child has ADHD, or they have this, or they're suffering from that. So that is why they are unable to pay attention in class. That their attention span is really short. And then we live in a world where we have our phones are going off all the time with notifications. You cannot focus on, you're switching from app to app. You're on Snapchat, you're switching to your Twitter to see what's going on, you're switching to your Instagram, and then unfortunately, or should I say fortunately, once while we are advancing in like technology, the humans are rather becoming daft, because anything will just pick up the phones and Google it.
Also with the rise of AI.
But I don't think that should even make you daft. I feel like that should give you the opportunity
it's
to
not making them daft, it's making them sluggish and more dependent.
I had a 29-year-old said he couldn't spell vaginal and had to they couldn't spell vaginal.
He just didn't want to think.
No, he said he hadn't even heard is vaginal even a word. That was what they asked. Is vaginal even a word? Like, how do you spell vaginal? And they told him I don't even want to say that on air, but like you get the point. So
describe what it
you see,
before.
There's the issue which I think we touched on at the beginning of this wonderful conversation. And I really like where the conversation is going. That's why I've left you people to be going on. You are revealing all the secrets. The cracker of it is that there's a status quo. There's a trend, a mindset that has existed for goodness knows how many decades. And nobody has challenged that. And until we consciously start poking holes in everything fearlessly, it will repeat, because the likes of you are not the majority. Mm-hmm. The likes of you think internship and teaching and all these things are exciting. Don't bother. Yeah, you are not it. You are like the 1%. How do we fix the 99? How do the 1% lead the charge to make sure that the 99 are also enlightened in this way, to challenge the status quo, to want more for themselves, and, and experience things better? Now, entrepreneurship is something that I can tell you is more of an emotional toil and a psychological toil than an academic one. You see, people always make jokes that by the lecturer know the thing, but he no get the money.
Yeah.
Or they'll say the electrical engineering professor calls Mensa to change the light bulb. The professor who is teaching mechanical engineering goes to give his car to the mechanic who dropped out in class 4.
Mm-hmm.
That is because experiential learning is here and here, right? Excuse me, any idiot can learn through experience. If you put your hand here and it's hot, you don't need a degree to not put your hand back there. And that's it. And I think that is what we need to channel. And we need to refresh. Yeah. Let me sell my event. We need to refresh. And I'm going to put all of us on a big refresh today. And there's going to be a whole lot more coming up in the next 10 days. There's a quote that we've all grossly been misled. I'm not among our links.
I'm not among either.
They say a jack of all trades and master of none, and then they leave it there.
Without saying most often better than a master of one.
And then they put you in a box, tell you, focus, you are doing too much. Why do you want to learn this one too? Have you finished with the other one you are learning? But you see, the people who built the most advanced systems were learning software while they were figuring out hardware.
Yeah.
They didn't go and just do software and then, where am I going to put this software? The people who were learning about how to build great machines were also simultaneously failing. If your understanding is not wide enough to encapsulate the world around you, you will be a specialist of nothing, especially in this world where information is coming like a tsunami. So please refresh, and join us on the 18th at UGBS Auditorium as we expose you to a different world when it comes to your tertiary experience and how you can bridge the gap and make sure you enter the real world, quote unquote, fully prepared. Ladies and gentlemen, the big conversation is wrapping up 10 on the dot. The name is Serial. I've been here with Nana Essilfua, Boris Emans, Kojo Trip, Aimee Cherry, and the lovely Lenny Lomore. This is indeed the culture.
The proud mama
has brought her children. They almost failed. They said cows drink. They said cows drink milk. No. They cut themselves, and then they caught themselves in the mix. But nonetheless, they did great, and we hope you'll be there as well. And we wish you all the best. Stay tuned to 3 Music TV and Plus 89.9. This is the culture.
Peace.